In the video game market, we can find many titles that have been commemorated in the history of this industry. Each game has aspects that make it either exceptional or completely unsuccessful for the average audience. It was no different in the case of Rockstar Games, which has given us many great titles over the years. Of course, there have been ups and downs for both Rockstar and other companies. However, today, we're going to take a look at a game that is undoubtedly considered by many to this day to be the most important and perhaps the greatest game of all time. We're talking about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, loved by millions of players around the world, a production from Rockstar North, which was released for the first time on PS2 on October 25th, 2004. After the great success of the previous installments of GTA, that is GTA 3 and Vice City, Rockstar North and Rockstar Games had the desire to increase sales profits and increase their already high popularity. The slightly gloomy and nostalgic atmosphere of Liberty City and its opposite in Vice City seemed to be a great combination. However, the developers knew perfectly well that these two great titles don't use the maximum potential of the renderware engine. And then, like a bolt from the blue, GTA 1, in which we were dealing with the famous San Andreas, popped up in the developers' heads. It is true that in the first GTA, San Andreas functioned as a city inspired by San Francisco. But here, Rockstar decided to go a few steps further. It was decided to create something that exceeded all expectations of the players. So in the end, we didn't get one big city, but three huge, bustling metropolises instead. The size of the map was 5 times larger than Liberty City or Vice City. In addition to the cities, it included nearby villages and counties that coexisted throughout the state of San Andreas. The possibilities of exploration seemed to know no bounds. The player had the impression that whenever he ventured into another district, he would be able to discover something completely new and interesting. Considering these and other aspects, as expected, GTA San Andreas broke sales records and received high marks from various game critics such as IGN and GameSpot. Referring to these aspects, the studio should be praised for the great selection of music that accompanies the players at every stage of gameplay. There are many different radio stations in the game. Several of them are centered around hip-hop music or genres of contemporary and classic rock. Moreover, players can immerse themselves in reggae or trance music. Of course, the radio stations did not lack humorous dialogue of DJs or funny commercials where you can often shed many tears of laughter. Leaving aside the issues of the soundtrack and touching on the issue of the gameplay itself, it is impossible not to notice that, as in the previous installments of GTA, Rockstar was also inspired by many events that we know from reality when creating GTA San Andreas. In the game, we can find many references to earthquakes, famous in the San Francisco area, or riots that were common in Los Angeles. Of course, there are many events touching conspiracy theories, such as those related to aliens. We think that, in connection with this topic, everyone perfectly associates the Lil Probe Inn Bar, or a military base based on Area 51 in Nevada. After all, according to many people, this one has a lot in common with aliens. Going further, you can't miss the whole range of weather that prevails in the game. We're talking here not only about weather aspects, but also about the specificity of cities that can put us in a completely different mood and provide completely different impressions. Thus, driving through Los Santos, San Fierro, and Las Venturas, we can delve into the criminal world of Los Santos, through the dark and often rainy streets of San Fierro, to finally go crazy in the casino and watch a beautiful sunset in the nearby desert. Staying with the sunset and the desert, the weather itself in the game has also been greatly expanded, because here, apart from the rather well-known types of weather, there is, among others, a sandstorm. It is also worth looking at the number of vehicles that the game offers us. In addition to new and old car models, players also received even more different motorcycles or helicopters, and the biggest novelty in the game in this area was airplanes. Unlike the previous parts of GTA, this time there was no shortage of these, and we as players could enjoy many great models such as a military jet or a giant airliner. Bicycles, go-karts, quads, tractors, and harvesters were also introduced to the game, which made the game even more alive and helped to increase the level of immersion. After all, what is a village without a harvester or urban sidewalks without cyclists? Another aspect that needs to be mentioned a bit is the artificial intelligence that has received a major upgrade. For instance, law enforcement officers began to react more effectively, and such ubiquitous pedestrians became more human. from now on paying attention to the main character of the game as well as to the world around them. There were also elements for players who like to complete games at 100% because GTA San Andreas was a great challenge. The game offers us 10 times more side quests than in the previous editions. Starting with collectibles, of which there are as many as 4 types in this installment, ending at the famous import-export side mission, players simply could not get bored. There were also missions related to a specific job, such as the missions of a truck driver, a valet, or even a quarry worker. The creators also did not give up missions for specific properties, which later bring us income. The pool of real estate has been reduced, but there were also novelties in this area, such as courier missions, which concerned several more local and niche businesses in a given city. Furthermore, the range of properties serving as our hideout was greatly expanded, which offered very interesting interiors, which we could not experience in previous parts of GTA. What's more, players had the opportunity to visit many locations, such as bars, police stations, restaurants, casinos, and many others, which were missing before. The gameplay also included attractions for people who like racing games, such as the well-known NFS series or Midnight Club, because players in GTA San Andreas were allowed to modify and tune their cars in various ways. Most importantly, for many players, the storyline of the game has also undergone huge changes. It's become even more complex, so there's a lot of multi-threading. What's more, we meet some characters from other parts of GTA, getting to know their history, which makes the player want to go deeper and deeper. The greater number of characters also means that players have more and more examples of personalities with which they can identify. After completing the story, many fanatics of the series love to delve into mythology, searching for secrets inside the presented world, analyzing collectibles, and finally solving puzzles. In GTA San Andreas, this aspect developed the most in the entire history of the GTA series. Players still find a huge amount of new myths in this installment to this day. Some of the more famous ones, such as Bigfoot or the Epsilon program, still attract a lot of interest from the community. One of the most crucial changes, in our opinion, is also the personalization of the main character. As we remember, in GTA Vice City, we had the opportunity to dress up Tommy Vercetti, but that was where it all ended. In GTA San Andreas, Rockstar North reached the heights when it came to changes in the appearance of the game's protagonist. The changes have come to such a high level that CJ needs to eat to survive. Otherwise, he'll starve and sooner or later die. As players, we can choose what our character will eat and in what quantities, thanks to which, for example, we influence its posture and appearance. In this regard, the ability to go to the gym to improve your main character and burn excessive calories has also become a brilliant novelty. At the gym, we were also allowed to learn other fighting styles that will more or less help us in bare-knuckle street fights. In terms of personalization, we also have several different clothing shops, where each of which contains a multitude of different clothes, outfits, and accessories. After choosing the outfit we like, we can also take care of the main character's hair in the local barbershops and decorate the exposed parts of the body by applying a tattoo to the skin in tattoo parlors. CJ himself can't complain about boredom. Players have the opportunity to participate in many different mini-games, such as dancing and playing in slot machines or in casinos. In addition, we can place bets and play pool and basketball. Another breakthrough is the girl dating system. Thanks to these aspects, the player can get to know the main character and take care of his future and further development. The protagonist of the game can simply deal with typically human things, apart from the criminal misdeeds that usually relate to the game's story itself. The creators also drew attention to the cast of their hit by engaging people such as Samuel L. Jackson in the project. Of the smaller but equally important changes is the main character's ability to swim and dive. Thanks to this, players can finally explore the underwater world of the state of San Andreas, which is so rich in various sea creatures like different types of fish, turtles, and dolphins. It's worth mentioning here that players can also find the historic San Andreas Fault, which exists in the real world in Silicon Valley, outside San Francisco. In general, the entire state of San Andreas has been surrounded by an ocean, which makes the player simply want to venture even further into the unknown. In order not to be afraid to go on a journey, Rockstar has significantly increased the equipment, which, after paying the right amount of cash, can go to CJ's inventory. What's more, players have the opportunity to use more unusual, complicated, but above all, useful items, such as a parachute or a jetpack. A wide range of weapons and items means that the player can customize everything as he sees fit. The ability to recruit gang members is also undoubtedly a big improvement. This aspect was borrowed from GTA Vice City, where after completing the game with 100% completion, we can gather a team and use it for robbery purposes. Cheat codes are an inseparable element of fun in GTA, And here, it's certainly difficult to find players who have never played with them. Rockstar was well aware of this, so there were more of them in GTA San Andreas, thanks to which the player could suddenly cause even more interesting effects, sometimes making the game easier and sometimes more difficult. The addition of several completely new and unique activities, such as breaking into houses or initiating gang wars, turned out to be a bullseye, where we can decide which of the local gangs will control particular areas. And finally, summing up a bit today's topic, GTA San Andreas is undoubtedly one of the best games ever created. Of course, San Andreas, as well as every game, noted a few mistakes, such as attracting the attention of critics, saying that the game shows many negative aspects such as profanity, violence, and drug dealing. The hot coffee scandal, which is a modification that was implemented in GTA San Andreas in the form of a minigame, did not go unnoticed, where the player had the opportunity to participate in sexual intercourse with his girlfriends, which caused outrage in society. However, finally answering the main question of this episode, that is, whether GTA San Andreas is the best GTA that has been created so far or not, we would say yes. The GTA version, set in the fictional state of San Andreas, offered us a lot of novelties that make it hard to get bored in this game, even after the end of the main campaign. Creators made sure that we get an extremely engaging story that is multi-threaded and extensive. It allows us to delve into different stories: the story of the Grove Street families, the story of Woozie and the Triads, or the story of the Liberty City crime families who wanted to start a big business in Las Venturas. A great atmosphere, outstanding music, 3 extensive cities, satisfying gameplay, and much more. It all works great together. Of course, the fact that GTA San Andreas is the best GTA is our subjective opinion, so let us know which GTA in your opinion is the best. We also invite you to other episodes that are currently displayed on the screen. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and see you soon.